And the solar eclipse is the changing point of the ego. The sun represents the ego, and meeting the moon normally equates to a regular new moon. But this, because the new moon is going to be hitting right near the north node, is why we're going to be having an eclipse. And when eclipse happens, destiny shifts for the entire collective. What's good, fam? How you doing? So thank you so much, Clarice. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, bro. I know your name, though. That Dapajan, TT, I am talented. Jade, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you for really showing up. And you are those people who are dedicated to really seeing what are the changes going to happen. And one of the keys to astrology, period, is making sure and knowing exactly what you want to end up doing and what you end up wanting to work with and happen. And people that are active and proactive are going to be the winners, so to speak, of this eclipse season. But you have to know that when things change, you can't resist them like you can in other places. You shouldn't resist them, if I'm being really honest with you. At this last and final degree of Aries, as we step into our identities that are aligned to our creative selves, our identities that are aligned to our soul self, what is it going to do? It's going to be different for every single person. But the best way I heard the eclipse, I said the script by accident, which is the video program that I use. I'm affiliate of the script as well. If you want to be a part of, the script, check out the link below. Speaking of links below, I'm going to be doing live readings at the end of my overall breakdown. So if you want a live reading on this solar eclipse tonight, right now, straight up, I got my cards right here. They on me, they with me. If y'all want a reading right now, tonight, make sure that you drop it down in the live reading tip jar. I have it in the comment section and also in the description. And I'm really just excited to be doing these lives again. I miss doing classes, and I didn't like how the class setup used to be back in the day. So I'm like, let's go live. Let's tap in with the people. Let's make sure we get the people what they need and what they want. And let's tap into the fire of it all, which is what the solar eclipse is all about. So what is Aries? Aries is the first fire sign. Aries is the spark that initiates any and everything. The spark is associated with the brain, and I personally akin, because Aries rules the head, I also akin Aries a lot to the brain and also parts of, I believe it's the hippocampus, if I'm not mistaken, because those are what the ram horns end up looking like inside of your head. Tarot class, please. I got you coming up. No worries. I got you. I used to teach tarot as well. So just something to let you all know. And once you know astrology, you low key can learn tarot so much easier. Vice versa too, to be honest. Anyway, besides the point, the solar eclipse in Aries is actually, the North Node at least, is actually in Taurus, right? So people are like, what's this? Technically, this is what's called a solar hybrid eclipse. And this is honestly the eclipse that is going to initiate the transition phase of how you go about the action that you do, about the things that you perform, about how you are pushing your energy into the world. The fire that Aries has is very contagious. When you see an Aries get ramped up, like, oh, I'm about to go do this. Just all of a sudden you're like, yeah, let's go. Oh, right? Like there's a certain type of push forward. There's a certain type of heat that gets generated. And this heat is all about moving things forward, pushing things forward. And what your guides in the universe are going to show you is the areas of life where you still need to continue to push. The areas of life where you still need to continue to accept as a part of your life, right? I know people that, in a lot of readings that I do, and if you haven't gotten a reading from me before, please get a reading from me. Honestly, in this month, I think getting a reading during a solar eclipse is so clutch, to be honest, during eclipse season, because you really get to stir and figure out those parts of your soul that your higher self are going to be trying to call you to step up into. And if I am able to check out the map you have and point out those things that are going to be affecting it, and mind you, if we do a reading during this eclipse season, I will let you know directly how these eclipses are impacting you and everything else along the lines is that. But let's start to hop in slowly into the upcoming astrology. I have the chart here as well, and we are about to be getting into that in just a moment. But I do ask y'all, please take advantage of my services. There's something that, you know, this is my job. This is what I do. This is what I love. I'm also in a position where it's like, this is really what I put everything into. And the more that y'all are able to support me, the more I'm able to support y'all, the more cool things I get to do for y'all. A lot of the money outside of the things like, you know, obviously the bills of life happen. It goes directly back into this, to be honest. Like, I'm not a frivolous person per se. I really love what I do, and I love being able to share this with y'all. And even in me sharing that, very Eclipse in Aries, right? Why? Because that's me, right? Who are you? Who are you? You know who you are. But like, there's one thing when you know who you are and you're like, oh, I'm doing it. And there's another thing when other people tell you who you are. And I guarantee when other people tell you who you are, it's way nicer than your own critic says. When other people tell you what you're doing and how you're doing, I'm guarantee it's better than what your own ego is telling you and the traumas that we've grown up having to deal with and pursue and deal with throughout our lifetimes. Aries is the most pioneering of the zodiac signs, and they're able to set things off in motion that may have never been able to start before. So when you set things off into motion, are you going to backtrack? Are you going to backpedal after telling the world what your truth is? Are you going to be like, hey, everybody, I'm an astrologer. I'm on the road to being the best astrologer in the world. Just wait a few years, guys. Or are you going to be like, yeah, you know, I did astrology once. You know, your favorite astrologer said I was their favorite astrologer. It's cool. Like, it's not that much of a big deal. Or are you going to talk your shit? Because I think a lot of people's spirits have been so caught up in the hoopla of this late capitalism, postmodern, whatever society that we're dealing with right now, where they're like, we are the reason why things are going bad financially. However, let's just make things worse. And let's get greedier in places we don't need to be. And as my good Taurus friend Pusha T has said, them numbers ain't real without inflation. But at the same time, I think this eclipse is showing the dichotomy because the North Node is going to go into Aries so soon. And when the North Node, I feel seen, say less, but when the North Node goes into Aries, right? Let's get back to the North Node. I have a whole ebook on the North Node that's out. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull that up right now, and I'm going to read you literally straight from that what this North Node in Aries is about, right? So let me pull this up for y'all. I'm gonna see if I can actually, I think I can, but just give me 2 seconds. So basically, the North Node in Aries, what did I write for that the first time? Let's break it down. North Node in Aries, your soul's destiny is to embrace courage, leadership, and assertiveness, breaking free from the accommodating tendencies of the Libra South Node, and light the fire within, charging forward with confidence and conviction. Your journey is one of self-discovery and forging your own path, with the fiery flames of initiative as your guiding light. Now, that's just about someone who has a North Node in Aries. I explained everyone's North Node. I explained the houses throughout all of this. It's only for $11. It's over on my website right now. So if there's nothing else that you could do, definitely make sure that you check that out. It's a short 25-page ebook giving you all the details and the juicy bits on how the North Node is working. And I also explain directly how these eclipses are working as well. But I'm going to save that for that. So if you want to check that out, I explain the upcoming 2 eclipses, not just the solar one, but also the lunar one. And let's get into the astrology. I think I talked enough. Let's get directly into the meat and potatoes, or the potatoes and whatever other thing that you do that's not directly meat, because everybody got food sensitivities, and I totally get it because they be trifling out here. Okay, so oh man, you're late. How could you be late to this live stream that's going to be available for you at any given point? If only someone could hit the like button and leave a comment and subscribe. And maybe one day I'd figure out a way to forgive them. No, I'm playing. It's all love. I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up 100%. This is what I do. This is what I love. And I love to help the people in this process, because life sucks sometimes. so if you can see why life sucks and where you can maneuver a few things to make the world better that you're around, all the more power to you. Make sure you get a reading if that's the case. Now, let's hop in. Summer nap. Let me stop. But honestly, let's break this down, right? So we have over here, the sun and moon in Aries, 29 degrees. As we can see, the North Node in Taurus is what's going to be making this an eclipse, right? Now, what was the North Node of Taurus about? Stability, finances, money, the collapse of money. As the North Node is leaving Taurus, they're trying to do the whole like BS program with the Fed now and stuff like that, being like, oh yeah, we're just gonna see all the money and everything that you do. Like they were trying to launch that at the end, right before the North Node leaves Taurus. That's when it's going to be dropping. If you think that the people or those that are in those situations don't know astrology, you are sorely mistaken. It's within everything. It's within all the things that you look at. It's within all the things that you do. But besides the point, one thing that's happening during this solar eclipse is that Jupiter is making a conjunction to it, right? It's a softer conjunction, so to speak, but Jupiter is literally the largest planet in the zodiac by a milestone. It's at least 10 times larger than the Earth. Some say 100, but I will show y'all that in some upcoming things soon. So don't you worry. I'll be able to give you the details. So make sure you subscribe so I can give you more. But Jupiter is unfathomably, woo, right? And it's a planet of luck. It's a planet of abundance. But what Jupiter also is the spiritual teacher. It's the teacher that's going to teach you about tapping into your luck, about realizing the magic that you have, about taking those first steps onto the journey. As a matter of fact, this solar eclipse reminds me exactly about the hero's journey, right? That's low-key what I probably should have named it, but I made this morning, and it was praise it, blaze it, and raise it. And what I meant by that is your vibration. But it's going to be on 420, so I thought I would be funny. Regardless, getting back to this eclipse a bit, Jupiter being on this solar eclipse, you have to expect a brand new breakthrough on your spiritual self, and not even your spiritual self as much as your faith. Do you believe in yourself? Like if all the people that normally support you or cheerlead for you weren't able to tomorrow, and you had to go step on stage and speak to millions of people, but you didn't have your regular support crew, will you be able to find that place and space within yourself to know that you could still do it? Because I think a lot of the times people need other people. People genuinely need other people to be around, you know? Because outside of even the concept of us being individual, we are all connected. And through this connection, we end up discovering parts of ourselves. We end up discovering what love means. We end up discovering how we want to equate love to our lives. And that's something I think that is so powerful about this eclipse season. And not only is this going to be eclipse season, but right after this, you don't see it yet, but Mercury is about to go retrograde after that too. So let me see. Is it the next day? Okay. So 2 days, literally, let's see. So 2 days after this eclipse happens, we have Mercury retrograde. So what does this mean? Solar eclipse, Mercury retrograde, big change, big differences, all of that. So what is that going to mean for us? Let me hop back so I can fit through and explain a bit more. So big eclipse happening. People remembering their fire, their soul fire, their higher selves fire, the personality that they truly are. While Mercury goes retrograde in Taurus, which is you having to reevaluate the finances, reevaluate how you utilize your money, reevaluate what you find valuable. And once more, solar hybrid eclipse. We're in between the stages of what do we think is valuable and who we are. And this is the kicker. Do you think you are valuable? Do you think you bring value to the table? Are you able to brighten up a room with your presence? And the key to that is showing up as yourself. It's not doing the most. It's not trying to be performative. It's truly and utterly believing in yourself, your expression, and knowing whatever you do is the right thing for the time. If you can believe that, if you can tap into that, if you can genuinely bring yourself to be that way, this eclipse is going to be really good. But mind you, eclipses are still tough. It don't matter how tough you are, it don't matter how much you necessarily prepare, it definitely changes. My biggest advice for eclipse season in general, and just life in general, but eclipse season specifically, is to drink as much water as you possibly can. The more hydrated you are in this eclipse season, the easier life's going to be. And I know what drinking water sucks, blah, blah, whatever. I don't care. The idea though, but honestly, oh no, drinking water is so difficult. I don't know a singular hot girl in this world that just drinks water for fun. But aside from that, it's definitely one of those scenarios and situations where if you start drinking the water, mind you, the sun and moon are about to meet. There's an eclipse. During eclipses back in the day, you have to think that the sun just turned off. So for people who were like working, living their lives, for them, they just looked up and they're like, wow, the sun just turned off. This is really scary. Years later, we can see that there's big changes. Kings were born and slain during eclipses. Like there's different either collapses or big gains during eclipses. And all of that has to do with the resonation of the soul. And because it's the solar eclipse, it's impacting your ego. When the lunar eclipse happens in 2 weeks from now, when I go live about that too, the lunar eclipse is specifically going to be moving and reforming your emotional body, your emotive body, the vibes that you have on that end. But right now we're talking about the ego. What do you define yourself to be and how do other people define you to be? And you have to realize the people that sing you praises aren't trying to gas you up. If so many people are telling you, yo, you're beautiful, you're doing such a great job. And it's not just one person. It's like one person, it's two people, it's three people, it's four people, it's five people. And you choose not to believe them. You're now ignoring 5 different accounts of different people trying to give you that. Why? Because it's so easy in this world to be insecure. As a matter of fact, it's been trendy to be insecure, to be anxious, to have those problems. And when we start to continuously, as a collective, speaking on those problems is important. But when we continue to take the trend of those things, like it's like, oh man, we're totally all going through it. Haha. Very Pluto and Sagittarius energy. I completely understand the wave. I'm one of the first of the Pluto Sag generation. I get you. But at the same time, when we continuously be like, well, this is what it is. Boo. It doesn't necessarily bring you that next step. It doesn't necessarily show you that. And Jupiter is trying to bring you on a journey to have you reignite the flame within you, reignite the life within you, dare I say. And let's go back for a second, right? So let me go back to the regular eclipse thing I had open prior. Oops, I'm clicking the wrong things because we love technology. We love it. It's so good. It's so sexy. Anyway, so getting back over to the moon, right? Let's hop in. So the aspects of the moon, we have the sun, we have Jupiter, and we have it making a square with Pluto. And now here's the interesting part about it squaring over to Pluto. What makes it squaring Pluto so damn interesting, dare I say, is that Pluto has slipped into Aquarius. And you want to know what has happened since Pluto has shifted into Aquarius? The TikTok band started popping up. They're like, yo, I can't wait for us to be able to access everyone's technology because none of these kids are going to give up TikTok. They're going to be like, hey, there's $1 million fine and maybe some time if you end up using TikTok if we really do ban it. Also, we can check inside in the records of all of your information, whatever we want on a whim if we just think that we want to. Pluto and Aquarius. Other thing on Pluto and Aquarius, the rise of AI. I love the usage of AI. I think it's great. But then I also realized I use it in integrity. I'm using this to be like, let's bring this forward. Let's step this in, you know? I mean, I'm not always great at having the energy to make us caption on social media. Bet. Let's use this. Let's utilize this. I don't know everything about business, period. I'm a freaking creative, bro. I know my marketing, that's my niche, but when it comes to all the other stuff, bro, I'm a creative. I'm a creative, I'm an artist. Like that's not necessarily my language. Let me type this in. Let me tap in and see like what information they can give that, right? AI is not a bad thing, but on the flip end, you look at the news, and recently I saw some, basically they tried to hit the AI robot that they created with the same expectations of a low wage worker. Like it was like supposed to just move boxes. That was its only goal. So follow me here. They ended up giving this robot the job to move the box from one side to the other belt. And that was his only job. In a matter of 15 minutes, that AI robot deactivated itself. It said, actually, as a matter of fact, it said, and why? Because it didn't feel like doing that function was a part of its purpose. A literal, like, we are getting into some interesting times with Pluto and Aquarius. And now this is making a square over to that. And so when we step into Taurus season, which is the next day after the eclipse, right? We step into Taurus season. Do we value ourselves enough to get out of situations like that robot that quit in 15 minutes? Literally, homie quit in 15 minutes and said, doop, all the programming, their algorithm said this is not an acceptable thing. And you have to think there are people that do that same exact job every single day with piss poor pay. And they weren't even want to pay the other thing to do that. And so when you start to realize like what's your worth, we have literal programs understanding their worth and seeing the capacity and what's going on with the world around it, and literally quitting, being like, I can't do this. It's not a large enough or big enough purpose for me. And if that's that case, so what's happening for you? I'm gonna wait for a second to be dramatic. Also, shout out to this. I love this. Shout out to this. I love this. Thank you. I love you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's so cool. Not anyway, that's the point. But what I'm saying is, right, that was distracting. It was supposed to distract you all. Anyway, if you all do want some of the live readings, I will probably be getting into those within the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So if you want to get a reading live on this channel, definitely hit the link either in the description. I'm pointing to the stuff, by the way. Either in the description or in the comment section if you want to get one of those readings. I'm gonna be doing that in about 10-15 minutes, so you have a little bit of time. But after that, I'm just gonna be pulling for that and all the specific zodiac sign. I don't like pulling for zodiac signs per se. I think it's a disrespect. I have a $33 tarot reading special that's going on though, so if you want to do that, definitely pop in, because I feel like everyone's so different. And literally just generalizing from zodiac sign and like digging in and like pulling cards, you don't get a proper interpretation for you. I'll do it with the astrology. I'll talk about it with the houses. I'll do that in my short form content to be able to like give people that. But in my real stuff, like I do think it's a disservice in a certain sense to just read for the signs on their own, because every person is a different part of the story. Every person has their own different blueprint. And I want to be able to specialize in literally signify the difference between you as an Aries and someone else as an Aries, or you as this Gemini with all this. Because one Gemini sun with a Pisces moon and a Sag rising is going to be different from the next one with the same setup. There's a lot more going on. So I like to be able to have the chart, have some cards, and really break that down for people respectfully. So anyway, yeah, get it, yeah, like, subscribe, comment, all that, yeah. I should have had a little bit more coffee, but I didn't, yeah. Okay, so before I get into the next part of this, let me just double check to make sure I hit all the points that I wanted to in regards to the moon, and then we'll get into the next bit. Anyone have any questions so far? Actually, feel free to drop them down over in the description. I have, I think, 1 or 2 readings so far in the tip donation, which I appreciate you so much for. I'm just resetting it to double check, and then we about to go right back in. Bet. So we have one right now, which is completely cool. And let's get back into the other part of the solar eclipse. So what is it about this time that gets so auspicious, that's so interesting? Remember, when Mercury goes retrograde, it's also going retrograde on Uranus. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna mess with your electronics. Like, this is one of those actual things that's gonna mess with your electronics a bit. It's gonna mess with like some things. I literally had a reading this morning. Everything was set up, everything was fine. We couldn't even access the call. Everything, like, and for people that have a lot of energy and higher energies and like do certain stuff like this, is across the board. Like, sometimes it's just not finna work. They're like, oh, you about to spit the truth? I don't think y'all remember, but last time, I think it was like 2 times ago, I literally had my laptop here. Everything was fine. And as soon as I was about to go in on like someone else, the whole live stream just shut down. And I was like, bro, come on. You know what I'm saying? But that's all a part of that process, for real, for real. Shout out to the ones that are watching right now, too, as I break this info down. But another thing to point out, too, is that Mars is in Cancer. And although it's not going to be a direct correlation to this new moon, I have to at least point out that, like, the way that people are pushing and going about things are all directly based off of their feelings. It's all direct off their feelings. It's all directly off their intuition. So in regards to this, glad to catch this. I appreciate you being here. But in the process of that, you know, you get to see like a different vein, a different like vibe of this. You know what? I'm not going to pull for signs, but I do have an idea. So if anybody wants to get a reading, please make sure that you pull up. But I'm about to read for the elements, and I think that's something I definitely want to incorporate way more into my work. Shout out to, I believe, Doctor, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Dr. Silverman? Anyway, shout out to Miss Silverman for showing me the ropes on the elements. But let's start off, right? So for this solar eclipse, we're going to go through the elements and see what's going on, see what's popping up. But first, let's do a one for the collective. Let's see what's going on for everybody in this process. Ooh. Okay, so we have the 7 of Swords. And when I see the 7 of Swords, right? Much love to Jay Wizard. Got the tips sent. We lit. But we have this right here, right? The 7 of Swords. And the 7 of Swords always reminds me of one or two things. It's like, this reminds me of a sneaky link. It's like, who? We're sneaky. On the other end, it's like, you have to pay attention to who or what is kind of scheming. I think the solar eclipse is trying to show, at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Wands. So if you're standing in your power, there's going to be 1 or 2 people that are going to be like trying to pop up. And I think this is more so people trying to deflate your confidence. So that's what it is. Solar eclipse in Aries, be aware of the people that are trying to pop up just to mess with your confidence level. There's a lot of jealousy in people that choose to be themselves. And I think a lot of people try to look at others and be like, wow, if only I could do that. And it's like, well, you're not supposed to do what they do. You're supposed to do what you do. And the reason why they're so good at what they do is because they're doing them. And that might look different. And some people hate the fact that looks different. Oh, I hate the fact that this artist changed. He changed on us, bro. It's like, or he's living his life. And people change over time because they're living their life. Nah, bro, they change, man. Like sometimes like we can romanticize and be like, wow, I grew up listening to Drake. He was such a great artist, right? But now we're like, man, Drake, you old, bro. Why are you singing about this? Why you complaining? Not old, but like, bro, you have had too many chances to mess all of them up. Like, come on, bro. Now, does that mean that if I meet Drake, I'm gonna not say something to him? No, I'm gonna talk my shit. I'm gonna say what's up. I ain't gonna be weird, but I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, you slipped after a certain point, but it's all love though. You still got hits. I ain't gonna deny your shine. But also be aware that you can talk a little bit of shit. I think that's something else that comes in with Aries energy, that people be like, they always admire it, but when it's time for them to do it, they're like, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. But like, you literally can't. Love the earrings, you know. I've been working on being a baddie and all that stuff like that. Nah, but I appreciate that for real. Let's get it. Next one. We got the Page of Wands, right? So this is like, yeah, so whoever is hating sees that you're about to do something. And now they're salty. And so it's like they're being salty. They see you about to do something. They see you about to pop up. They see you about to make moves. And they're like, man, I don't know if to hate this or if I need to be a part of it. And it's like, bro, you can't be a part of this. You can't be a part of this initiation, this action. And the Page of Wands is also the card of fire, right? And the Page is someone who is slowly stepping into their prowess, which I think relates so much to this Aries solar eclipse and new moon phase that's going to be happening. Please make sure to check out the short form content because I'll be breaking more of that down too. But let's get into the elements real quick, right? So I'm gonna break it down just easy. And if you have a sun, moon, and rising here, make sure you pay attention. These are going to be quick, and then I'm going to get to the tip readings. But make sure that you drop in a tip if you like to, and if you like these element readings, please make sure that you leave a like. Share this with someone that you like or don't like. I don't really care, as long as you share it and show some love. Love you stuff. But for real, let's get it. So we have for water. We're going to be pulling for water first, right? So for the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Let's see what we got for you. Are y'all sulking? I feel like for the solar eclipse and Aries, the water signs are in this like sulking kind of mood, right? You know, fire can be so strong that it can dehydrate, which is, once more, I told you earlier on, eclipse seasons, please be hydrated, right? This is like them being like, man, just dropped everything. I just don't have what I want. And meanwhile, you got 2 cups behind you and you're like, well, I was thirsty for the other 2 drinks, but I wanted I was thirsty for the other 3. The other 3 were the ones that I wanted. It's like you wanted all 5 equally the same. It's like, yeah, but like those 3 are gone. Meanwhile, the 3 that just spilled are like soda, a little bit of wine, other things to, let's say, dehydrate you and make things worse. Meanwhile, the things that are back behind him are supposed to refresh them. So water signs, right? This is actually perfect. I can't make this up. Water signs. We have 2 cups. 2 cups are the water element, right? But you have the 3 knocked over cups, but underneath it, we have the 3 of cups. So this is almost showing that it's like this dude is trying to remember or this figure is trying to remember what it was like to be like this. Forgetting that they had 2 more. Forgetting that they had it to begin with, right? And I think that's something for water signs you got to watch out for, where it's like, don't let that sulk forget how far you've come. Don't let those emotions that pull up look at that. Knight of Cups, 100%. Another Cups card. So for the water signs, you are about to, after the solar eclipse, right? During the solar eclipse, I'm sure y'all going to be a little bit in your feelings. You have to address a lot of emotions from other times of your life. 100%. Change is always hard to accept, unless you're a mutable sign and you just don't care. But if you're someone who likes to set things up, change is so hard to accept. We get taught to not change a lot of the times, all growing up and everything else like that. And this Knight of Cups is being like, bro, if your heart says it's cool, it's okay to change to it. If your heart says it's Gucci, it's okay to go ahead and do it. Water signs got cups. I can't make this shit up, bro. like I can't. If I could, I'd be probably even crazy, but like, can't make it up. Now we're going over to the air signs, but water signs, I hope you take that message and I hope you take it well, right? So let's get over to the air signs, right? If you are air sign, it is Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. I said that out of order, but I don't care. Deal with it. All right. So air signs, right? Let me stop. Oh! Ace of Wands, air signs. Let's go. Now, here's the thing. For those who don't know what the Ace of Wands is, the Ace of Wands is like the perfect project starting point. It's the perfect creation point, right? If you have the Ace of Wands, think of this like the literal like wand in Harry Potter, like the Elder Wand. Like, I can make anything pop up. I can make anything happen that I want. I could literally just like pop in, say, yo, I'm here, and everything's gonna change just because I said so, right? One of my pieces of hair being weird. Libra tendencies. Regardless, the idea of this is that the Ace of Wands is showing you, yo, if you show up and really choose to be in that power is going to show, and your voice is much stronger than you think it is, air signs. Please make sure that you remember that. This isn't a time to manifest as much as it is to affirm your transformation throughout this solar eclipse. I wouldn't necessarily use this eclipse to try to manifest as much as you can do, as much as affirm the transformation that the eclipse, your higher self and guides have in store for you. It's more about preparation of surrender to the universe versus you trying to force your will. You want to force your will into the world? Wait till Taurus new moon. I'll be able to cover that too. If you want to be able to manifest exactly all those things, wait till the new moon in Taurus. I'm not telling you to stop your life. I'm just saying, like, this is from my observations and my studies thus far that I think is the best overall vibe for this. Like, you know, no transit's going to stop the life you live in. Ooh, who is this for? Who is this for? Who is this for? What is this? I think this is almost still on air signs. I think this is for you. 9 of Wands, and then the 2 of Wands at the bottom. So y'all are getting wands, ironically. But the idea is that with this 9 of Wands, this is like, yo, you're almost there. You are putting up with a lot of BS, air signs. You're putting up with all types of people shit. And with that being said, it's the 2 of Wands right here where it's like, do you got to go somewhere else? Like, this is like, yo, here's all my responsibilities and burdens. Maybe I need to strike it out on my own accord. Maybe I don't need to have to deal with that. Maybe I should set out into a different direction. And see, out of all of these wands that are here, the 9 of Wands, this person only has 2, and they're looking forward and they have the world in their hands. So it's like, out of all these 9 things that are going crazy, what 2 do you actually care about? That's something to keep in mind, air sign. And make sure that you tap into those 2 things that pop up. Lord, yes. Yeah, I know you're a Libra. It better not be about no person, bro. I'll play. Live life. Nah, but for real. I was about to say. What was I about to say? Technically, I was going to say Earth, so I'll do it for the Earth signs. Earth signs, you get this one. We got the Fool card for the Earth signs, and we got the Sun card. I was almost going to say Fire because I low-key wanted it to be for the Fire signs. But for the Earth card, we have the Fool card, right? And the Fool doesn't care anymore. The Fool card is the person that quiet quit at your job, and like when the boss come to bother them, they look at them and they're like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be back when I get back. And they just go. The fool is like, am I gonna sit here every day and look at them and be like, or am I gonna be like, and just like be off, right? The Fool is ready for an adventure. There's a song, Mr. Rager by Kid Cudi, and it's like, off on an adventure. Can you tell me your stories? Like that's what the Fool is, right? And at the bottom of it, we have the Sun card. So it's like in Earth signs, in leaving behind the part that's not going to be bringing you your reality, you got to stunt on them. I think Earth signs, I think you're about to stunt, to be honest. This is like you being like, yo, I'm out. Peace out. I don't want to deal with this no more. And then you turn around and you're like, I'm going to stunt on them just a little bit. Like just a little bit. You know, I got this cute little Louis Vuitton shoes that I picked up. And I know I'm going to walk back to my old job. And I know they don't like me. But I remember how they was treating me before I started popping. So let me just walk on in with my Louis Vuitton shoes just to be like, what's good? Earth signs, I think you about to be stunting, to be honest with you. Don't stunt too hard, but I think low key, like Earth signs, you have been too humble. And I don't like the word humble, because the word humble means you're stupid, and you have to literally limit your actual potential to make other people comfortable. And that's something that Earth signs love to do. We're just humble Earth signs. We're just doing this. It's like, are you calling yourself stupid? Because that's not what you are, Earth sign. Earth sign. I met one of the most intelligent, wonderful Earth sign, triple Earth sign woman I've ever met in my life. And for the first time, I saw like Earth energy really work in tandem, and you put respect on their name. Put respect on Earth sign's name. They're so intelligent. They're so slick with it, and they just know the rhythm of the world around them. That's really important. For Earth signs, we also have the Lovers card. Speaking of the rhythm, Earth signs. Hold up. We have the literal dichotomy of the Devil and the Lovers card. At the bottom, we have the Devil. So it's like, I think a lot of it is the shackles of your own. The shackles of your own mind are limiting you from the love that's right in front of you. And I think that sucks, because you're like, man, practically this relationship makes no sense. So we're going to just be toxic about it. On the other end, the Lovers card is like, if y'all just got out of your ego in your own way, y'all would probably make it work and love each other forever. But at the same time, that really depends on how you're going to be going about it, right? Last part for the Earth signs, because like that love dichotomy is really interesting. I think this is trying to show you where it's like, okay, the love that you're aiming for, the love that you're aiming for though might come to you in a way that's through project. I think this is like collaboration. And I think the love portion of the collaboration is like, are you collaborating with your partners properly, or your partner, or the people that you work with? Are you doing it properly, or are you doing it because you have to? That love-hate relationship that you have, is it really hate, or is it all just love and you just hate that you can't control parts of it? Keep that in mind, Earth signs. This is for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. My bad, I don't think I said that before. So if you are a Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is what is impacting you. I know an Earth sign where that makes sense. You better send them that. Wife is mad judge you're giving so many cards and showing favoritism to Earth. Tell her to come get a reading on the tip jar. I got her right now. Stop. It's much love. Let's get to the fire signs though. Okay, cool. So all right, so for the fire, my bad. I'm at least gonna have fun with this. If I'm gonna have to go live and make all this, I'm at least have fun. And I appreciate you all for literally being here with me. I was in a room of 15 people just the last couple of days, like learning astrology, and I really felt how many people that really is. So knowing that this is the amount of people in here right now, I really do feel like we're having this like commune together, and I'm talking done. Much love. That's love right there. That's what I'm saying. Thank y'all. For real, for real. This is, y'all make this fun, for real. All right, so let's get to, okay, cool. Let's get to the next part right here. I've dropped it. This is for fire signs. I don't think we're going to like this fire signs, but that's okay. All right, we're not going to like this fire signs, but that's okay. So here's the thing. At the end of the day, fire, this is for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. At the bottom of this, we got some work to do. This is about the detailing of things. Like, I think what this is trying to show is that passion can only lead you so far. This is all dropped out the deck, by the way. I didn't pull these. Passion can only get you so far. Blind passion can only get you to a certain degree before it's like, okay, but like what else? Blind passion can only lead you to a certain place before it turns into burnout. And what this is trying to show is that it's like, yo, in this other place, hi Jay Fabulous, hi everybody. Anyway, but in this place, right, we have the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is basically just trying to see what's going on the horizon. Meanwhile, hey, hi there in the chat. Say less. What's good, y'all? Much love to y'all. It was like, this is my favorite YouTube live chat couple. Appreciate y'all for pulling up for this, right? Now we also have the Queen of Wands, right? And so for the Queen of Wands, this is also being like, I think this is sort of like, all right, let me break this down. For fire signs, right? The Queen of Wands is the Queen of Fire, but the Queen of Fire, I think, is going through a transitionary phase where you have to address your heartbreak, fire signs. You know what? That's what it is. Fire signs, you have to address your heartbreak. You have to address where you've been hurt. You have to address where things suck. You have to address where like the pain has happened. And until you do that, blind passion ain't gonna lead you where you gotta go. I hate to break it to you. I hate to have to deal with it. But genuinely speaking, you have to address the things that have broken your heart over the past 6 months. And it could be anything. It could be from business. It could be from whatever it is. You just have to address it. You have to know it, and you have to love it in that process in order for you to heal from it. But fire, we also have two things coming through, right? Although you're going to feel this fire happen in the solar eclipse and the ego of everything and the heat of everything, you're going to be like, oh man, what is my life? What's going on? I don't know. I just have to surrender to the universe. This sucks. I don't know what's happening. I can't even see it. I don't know what's going on. Meanwhile, the Three of Pentacles is like, there's literally like the people that you love and adore the most looking and being like, we gonna make sure that they're so set. Look at them just go. And this is literally even potentially like you starting to like work with people that want to bring you your best favor, right? And in working with other people and through collaboration, I think that heartbreak is going to start to go away. Last one is the Hermit. Fire signs, if you have to return to yourself for a minute, as we can see right here, if you have to return for a minute, right? It's going to be like you literally checking in with yourself. Fire, you have to check in with yourself. Fire, once more, you have to check in with yourself. Check in with yourself, check in with what's going on. Because the more that you try to push during the solar eclipse, and this is what's happening. You try to push the solar eclipse, you're going to be like, oh man, I don't have any fire right now because, okay. This is my last point about fire signs, and then we're going to get into the tips. So if you want anything else, make sure that you drop that right now, and I'm going to get to the tips, and then I'm off this live stream to go to sleep, I guess. I've been up for a while. Regardless, in Avatar, there's a scene, the Avatar The Last Airbender, not the other thing, but in Avatar The Last Airbender, there's literally a scene. And technically, I think it was on the solar eclipse, the firebenders got their power. Let me just double check. I don't want to say this wrong. Hold on. Solar eclipse, Avatar The Last Airbender. I like how I have the whole thing set up for me to use stuff, and I'm still doing that. Oh, good Lord. Fire are going through it. You're damn right. All right. So what is called in the Avatar The Last Airbender is that it was the day of the black sun. That's what they call it in the show, right? And it's a celestial event where the sun blocks out the moon, rendering all firebenders powerless for a very short amount of time. And that's how Aang ended up beating the Fire Lord, if I'm not mistaken, just for that moment. But the Fire Lord was too caught up in their ego. The Fire Lord was still do that, right? Thank you, Stephen. So they lose their fire bending for that quick minute. Why? Because the fire is coming from the sun. So when the sun blocks out the moon, you're like, oh, fire's going through it. I'm like, yeah, because we're having a solar eclipse in the last bits of the first fire sign, of the full initiation sign. Rest. Fire signs. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. When I be doing readings, I'm not like, hey, this is exactly what I want. Like, no, this is what's going on. And so during that time, don't force yourself to do too much. Find things that bring you peace. Address your heartbreak. And that's what's going to be leading you into your power, right? So the solar eclipse don't have to be pushing out the fire. Whatever is going to be coming through, your guides are going to show you what you need to do. But you can't force too much, or else you're going to just kind of like implode on yourself in a way you probably don't necessarily want. I'm just going to keep it a stack. I'm going to be real. And I just want to be honest, because I don't want to have nobody pop up and be like, you could have told me, man. Why didn't you tell me? Because I did. Respectfully. Okay, cool. Let's go. All right, cool. I'm sorry. I'm hyped because we're getting into the other readings right now. So the first one I have is for the lovely, beautiful Michelle. Let's break this down for you. Much love to you. You already know. All right, let's get it. Blah, 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 blah. 1 second. My bad. I'm clicking things. Oh, it's over here. I'm wrong. Okay, cool. So for Michelle, for this solar eclipse in Aries, let's get it. Let's see what we got for you. All right, but first one, we have the Five of Wands, right? And this is showing people that are trying to fuss for no reason. Like this is like it's people around where it's like genuinely, and I've seen it happen, so I understand. But in the Five of Wands capacity, this is just like people just arguing for no reason, and they're all wrong. This is what makes it work. They're all wrong, and they're all kind of turning to you, being like, "Aren't I right? Aren't I right about this? I couldn't be wrong about this." And you're there like, "Yeah, you definitely didn't." And this is kind of telling you like, make the initiative to kind of do your own thing for a minute. I think like finding a place to like even like a spa day. I don't know what I popped up. I feel like there's gonna be so many people arguing. They might even be trying to like blow up your phone about something, and you just put that on do not disturb, and you just take some peace to yourself, and you like, I don't got time to worry about this shit. there's an eclipse going on. Things is changing. Like, I'm gonna let myself relax. It's like, okay, like just set yourself out to be somewhere else so you can just enjoy yourself, right? And I think literally you stepping away from everything allows a lot of the things that you wanted to kind of grow start to happen, right? So let's say you've been working on a project, or you've been working on, let's say like, I'm just going to use an example. You're working on like some remodeling, right? Let's use that as an example. You're working on some remodeling, whatever. By the time you finally get that rest and relaxation, by the time you finally get that moment to yourself, all those things once you get back are finally growing. And you're like, oh, wow. All I had to do is take some time to myself for a minute. And then once you're gone, which is so funny, and by the time you get back, everyone's like, okay, it's fine. Or they just don't deal with each other, but you get to just go back and just be chilling. So when the solar eclipse pop up, there are going to be people that are on static, just being negative. And it's like, honestly, I really do suggest you just remove yourself from it intentionally, and don't even be like, I'm gonna go. Just don't. Like, don't even engage. And by the time you are ready to like engage back with them, it's gonna be over. And it's like, you don't have to be the mediator for this. That's something I want to tell you. You do not have to be the mediator. That's what the key of this whole message. So I hope that helped you. Much love to you. You already know. And let's continue on. So hope that did help. I appreciate you endlessly. Let's get over to Jade with the yeehaw. All right, cool. So we're going to do Jade Wizard. Let's get what we got for you. Jade Wizard. We have the Knight of Swords. I think the Knight of Swords in this regard is trying to tell you that your mental capacity for the quick thought that you have is going to start to be tested. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor, right? And this is trying to show me and prove to me, in a sense, right, that you're on the verge of power, but I think you want to go about it in a reckless way. This is like someone who finally got like 1 million followers on a platform, and they're like, you want to know what, everyone? I don't want to do photography anymore. I'm a banjo player. And like, you're just like, I want to be a banjo player influencer. And everyone's like, what? You was the king of that other stuff. You were that person. Now you want to do banjos, and you're like, but this is my idea. This is right. And it's like trying to show you where it's like reel back. The Emperor does not trip. The Emperor is the king of the kings. When the kings start tripping, they snitch on them to the Emperor, being like, yo, Emperor, the King of Wands over there, he's kind of bugging out. He's doing too much. Oh, the King of Cups, yeah, he's been in his feelings too hard. He's starting to act up. The Emperor is the one to come through and straighten all the kings out and be like, this is the divine masculine. Psh, psh, psh. Step into your power or don't. That's the Emperor. So the Knight of Swords is trying to be like, you feel like you're like in less power than you are. So you're trying to poke at this, you're trying to fight at this, but nah, it's about tapping into the other side of that. And walking the ever-loving F away. The World's card. This is showing, right? Like MJ going from basketball to baseball. Thank you, Todd. Oh my gosh. That is the perfect example. If you are a basketball master and everyone loves you for playing basketball, I get why he went over to baseball, but that dude could have literally just not done that. He could, because he was like, I'm just going to do it. But no one really cared. They were like, so this legendary guy is playing this other thing for some reason. We don't know why. Double down on the other stuff that you do and walk away from anyone else that's trying to keep you from that positioning. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the World card. So this solar eclipse is opening up an entirely new world for you to exist in and live in. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to Jay Fabulous for that. But that's really dope. You know what I'm saying? I give credit to where it's due. I'll totally get it. No worries. It's love to both of y'all. I appreciate y'all for being here to begin with. But genuinely, that's the difference between those things, right? One more. And the High Priestess, this is trying to show where it's like you're about to get into a brand new spiritual path you don't even know yet. And that's part of what makes it really awesome and incredible. Like you're about to step into magic that you probably haven't seen prior. And it's going to start with you. And that's the last thing I have for you on this upcoming solar eclipse. So let's get to the next one. I refreshed it just in case. Oh, what's good, Ellen? How you living? All right, cool. Man, now I'm gonna start pulling. I gotta start pulling now. I bet. So for Andrea, what we got? Keep doing what you do. Yeah, for sure. No, let's stop. For Andrea, let's see what we got for you. Shit. Darn it. Please give me a YouTube partnership. I love you. Haha. Okay, cool. So justice. All right, let me stop. But for justice, for the justice card though, right? We have Justice card, and at the bottom we have the King of Wands. So what this is showing me is that it's like, I think this is almost you getting, you're getting a new balance on your divine masculine and how you exert your energy. And I think this has a lot to do with the justice. This has a lot to do with the tapping in of your ability, right? No problem, Jade. I got you. But this is literally like you tapping into that truth. And I think the justice card is trying to show where it's like sometimes the masculine gets shunned. Sometimes being assertive, specifically in that feminine, gets very much just shunned. And they're like, wow, this person's being such a this, they're being such a that. It's telling me that the scales are going to tip in the favor of who's correct, not who thinks they're correct. So continue being in that right regard. And this, once more, I keep getting the Two of Wands actually. For a handful of y'all, if I'm not mistaken. But the Two of Wands is like, yo, I'm about to be out on my own adventure, about to be out on my own ish, right? And the Knight of Cups is trying to remind you that your feelings are valid. Your feelings are what is actually leading you to that charm, is leading you to that charisma. And your feelings don't make you any weaker or take away from that assertive energy you have. Your feelings, as a matter of fact, would serve better with that because Mars is literally in Cancer right now. So using and activating and moving through your feelings is what's going to bring you prowess. And what we got? The Wheel of Motherfucking Fortune. I just bleeped myself out. So thanks YouTube for making me a partner in advance. Thank you all. I hope y'all, we got some people on. We doing it. We getting the March hours. Regardless, right? We have the Wheel of Fortune though. And the Wheel of Fortune is going to bring you into this new capacity and this new luck, literally new luck. That's what I was saying with Jupiter being on the solar eclipse. So don't fret. The world and things are going to start changing for you very quickly. So do not trip. It's going to happen. Let it be. And it's literally going to pull through. So I'm so excited for you in that regard. And I hope the best for this, right? So we have for Jennifer, for the wife, she is a 29 degree Scorpio rising, Leo sun, and Scorpio moon. Thank you for the context. That definitely helps a bit. So this is going to be for you. And let me do this. Bet. Thank you all for continually to tell. I'm like, I didn't even expect to, but we out here. And I low-key could definitely use some of the funds because we out here really doing this real time. What's that? See, now people are asking me where I'm at. Man, come on, bro. All right, let's get it. So we have the Six of Cups, right? And the Six of Cups, this is trying to remind you of your nostalgia. This is trying to remind you of the happy times that you've had and to remind you that the happy times that you have are far from over. As a matter of fact, you need to remember exactly what those feelings were. And I still keep getting the Two of Wands, right? Still keep getting the Two of Wands. And with that being said, that's one of those situations that ends up changing so much. 1 second. I want to make sure my friend knows I'm not ignoring their entire existence. Bet. But basically, the whole idea behind this is that you tapping into that real childhood feeling, that real existence. This is what's going to be leading you into a brand new stage where you're starting to look out. I think that I'm almost say the Two of Wands is literally the theme of this solar eclipse in Aries because it keeps popping up. I continuously shuffle, like it's not changing. But for you, but Aries is also about tapping into your inner child. So I think this is you really recognizing the nostalgia and watch for what qualities of those nostalgic things make you happy and see how you can bring those things into your life. You know what I'm saying? And this is, like I said, see what you can bring into those things. I feel like, oh, look at that. Matter of fact, look at that. Let's bring it back. Scorpio specifically, right? Scorpios love to be like, I'm just feeling my feelings. It's okay, everyone. Don't worry about what I'm going through. I'm just going through it like everyone else is. No. We're not going to do that. Remember those good feelings because the good feelings are what's going to lead you into that transformation going forward that you really wanted to start to anticipate, really start to step into. Second part to this, we have the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords is literally coming through like shling. And differently from the last Knight of Swords, I feel like the remembrance of the older parts of things are going to actually be like, oh, I love the way that they did that in that one movie. I could literally do that. And you might be able to pull it off. You get what I'm saying? This is just like tapping into those memories, tapping into that nostalgia, even if it's with with homeboy over here who so graciously and kindly did that. What a good guy. Shout out to you. But genuinely, that's how it goes. Yeah, I'm calling y'all out. That's what y'all came here for. If y'all don't want to get called out while you coming to double Sagittarius, what you want, bro? No, it's all love. It's all love. Don't do us like that. You know it's all love. Don't play me. I have enough Scorpio to talk shit about Scorpio. It's not personal. I mean, stuff. Shout out to YouTube partnership, baby. YouTube partner. Oh, they're going to have to pay me. I love this, though. All right, cool. Last thing for you, though, before I get into a clown tangent and forget to do everyone else's. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So take your time with it. As you step into that newness, this really is about taking your time, taking those moments and stopping to smell the roses in that process. That's what's going to be leading you so much further after the solar eclipse in Aries. So I hope that helped for you. So now we have it for Darrell. Let's get it for you. A little bit of info. Sun in Libra, Moon in Scorpio, and a Sag rising. Libra, Scorpio, Sag. But okay. Thank you, Chad. You're awesome. I would hope so. I worked a long time to be pretty cool. No, but genuinely, I appreciate y'all. All right, let's get it. And for my next trick, I will pull more cards. Who would have thought? All right, so for the Sun, Libra, Scorpio, Sag. All right, so basically having Libra, Scorpio, Sag, you're like on the line of like social intelligence and also channeling information to people. And I think during this solar eclipse, you're going to like genuinely start doing that, right? The Tower. Okay. See, this is what's important. That's why I wanted to state that first. The Tower isn't, I don't even think the Tower is in your life as much as you might. I think this is you watching things fall apart that you knew was going to fall apart and you called that was going to fall apart a dumb long time ago. And everyone was like, no, there's no possible way. Like Rome can't fall. What? There's no, oh shit, Rome just fell. Oh, it took like 3 days. They said it didn't fall in a day. It took like 3 days. Oh my God. Like, you get what I'm saying? The concept is like, you knew the ship was sinking. And I think this is you. What's weird about it though? What's weird about it, though, is that I think you're like claiming it. It's almost like the tower's falling and you're still at the top of the tower being like, I told you all this was going to fall. Honestly, it reminds me of Kratos from God of War. It reminds me of Kratos from God of War where it was just like, I'll take down all the Olympians myself. Like there's something about this where it's like, I think when you're watching everything crumble apart, especially with your signs, you're kind of like, you're laughing about it because you're like, oh, y'all thought I was playing. When I was being stubborn about this, y'all thought I was just trying to be in my ego. I was trying to save everybody else. But now y'all got to deal with that. Peace out. I'm out. That's something that I definitely see pulling up. And we have the World card. So the whole reason why everything else is crumbling. And which is interesting, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. So there might be some wonderful, pretty lady who wants to be like, hey, I saw the way that you handled that tower falling. What are you doing later? And you might be like, the world's your oyster, shawty, or whatever the case is. You get what I'm saying? The concept of this, though, is that like the world that's popping up is trying to like, I do that all the time. They don't listen. It be like that. But it ain't about who gonna listen. It's just about delivering the truth of what you gotta say. Anywho, the world. So for the World card, right? This is you tap. I got this big red mark on my forehead. My Libra is flinching. I don't know what's going on. Let me stop. Sorry. But maybe the coffee did work. Who knows? But the World card, though, this is trying to show where it's like the world that you're starting to develop is based off of your relationship to luxury and how you want to tap into the luxurious nature of the world around you. That's 100% what I'm getting out of that for you, Dura. 100%. Last thing for you, we have the Four of Pentacles. This is standing your ground. This is standing your ground because you know that the control that you have when you do stand your ground is unshakable. And so this is you letting that tower fall, finding that either divine feminine figure in your life or embracing that real part of yourself where you're like, I deserve to be luxurious. I deserve the world, matter of fact. And then standing your ground on that notion. That's what's going to be popping up. Yeah, cool. All right. We still have all y'all. Oh, we got 25 likes in this piece. Let's go. All right, cool. I'm probably screaming. People like, is he good? I'm like, yeah, no, not really. Like, yes, but like, you know, eclipses and shit. But all right, let's get to the next part, right? So we're gonna go to Ellen. What's up, homie? So for Ellen, here's what we got for you. Ellen, let's see. We have the Four of Cups. You are waiting for a miracle. You are waiting for that thing. You are sitting there on your it's just all love, and you know it is. You're sitting there on your balcony, on your fire escape, staring out, being like, when will my prince come? When are the good things coming through? When is all of this going to happen the way I know it's supposed to? Meanwhile, the Queen of Pentacles is like, are you slow? You have the capacity to make it happen. You can just ask anybody and they'll do stuff. It's like, it's genuinely like, yo, if you, I got you, bro, no worries. But like the idea is where it comes to like the Queen of Pentacles is like, you literally, like people are looking for you. Meanwhile, you're like, I'm just waiting. And you're just like, did you ask anybody? Like, oh, I'm just waiting. I got some cards that fell. I got a few cards that fell. So I'm going to rapid fire these real quick. So this looks like to me, and I'm going to be real with you. You know, I ain't going to front on you. So we have the Ace of Cups. You can literally have all the emotions and the manifestations you want. The Moon. Oh, well, I wanted this, but now things aren't looking the way I want them to be. So what's going on? The Star. Okay, maybe I am that girl. I could totally do this. Oh, wait. But what about that time I didn't do it once, like 3 years ago when I messed up a couple of times? Oh, no. Oh, wait, I have prospects here? Nah, I ain't going to look at those. And now I'm going to cry about it instead. I'm going to take all this potentiality that people want and everything else. And this is literally trying to tell you to walk away from your damn self. You got to get out your own way. You really got to get out your own way for real. Because it's like all these people that are trying to adore you, be a part of this. And you're like, I'm just going to sit here and wait. Take the initiative, take the action, ask the first question if you need to, because you're going to start to see exactly how much pull you have once you do, and stick to it. Don't double back. That's my biggest point. Do not double back after you say that thing. Say it with your chest, respectfully so. And you got this, for real. I wouldn't be giving you ish if you didn't. So, ish, I'm gonna start censoring myself. YouTube partnership, manifestation. Give me pay to make stuff all day. That's all I want. I just want to get paid to create every day. I will cry tears of gold and sell them on eBay for $3. Okay, so $3,000. All right, so May or Mai. Hope I didn't pronounce it right. Mai. I'm gonna go with Mai. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. It's all love. So Moon Romancer. I know that one. Let's get it. Let's get some card for you real quick. And I think that's the last of the readings after that. But I'll pull one more at the end for everyone who watched through because that's mad love. Moon Romancer. It seems as though you are looking around at things and you are like, I don't know what I want to do with them. I do not know what I see here. And at the bottom of this is like, it's like you set out on a path. You set out on a path and you're going there. And once you hit one crossroad, you were like, man, I don't even know if I want to do this no more. You're like, it's almost as if you're like, man, philosophically, if I went left, is that right? But if I go right, is that correct? It's like, bro, like just pick a side. But let's talk about why real quick. Why you're feeling this back and forth, right? Because you are also waiting for a miracle. Awesome. So you're also waiting for a miracle. You're waiting for that thing. So you're just teeter-tottering. You're like, oh, well, if I just stay here in this place, it'll just come through. And like, as much as I love this card and how hilarious it is that he's just like, give me my cup. It doesn't necessarily fly to you that way. And I got this again. You got to walk away from what isn't blessing. Oh, wait, hold up. I was about to say, you got to walk away from what isn't blessing you. And I thought the other card was on the bottom. And I moved this and it's the Chariot. So as soon as you walk away, as soon as you stop waiting for a miracle and walk away from that concept of like this person or this thing serving you this miracle, you're going to actually charge forward being like, you want to know what? I ain't never need that to begin with. What was I tripping about? The tears behind this? All the other feelings I've been feeling about this, why was I even upset? You know, this is really much the like it reminds me of the post-nut clarity of just like, I don't even like this person. Why did I do it? I hope YouTube partnership. We'll see. We're gonna see how it goes. I might have to make another channel for that at this point. Regardless, this is definitely you stepping into a brand new phase of that and not being afraid post this eclipse. Don't force it on the eclipse, but post this eclipse, when you start feeling that, you're going to start really making moves up until the lunar eclipse. And that's going to be a different transition. And I think, let me just refresh one more time. I want to make sure I got everyone's tips in. I'm going to start doing this more often. I'm going to start doing this more often because I think this is a really good thing. It's a really good vibe. We have the same amount of people that I was in for a whole seminar this past weekend, and it was beautiful. And I really do love the intimacy of this right now, and like having everyone here listening to like the real changes that are going to happen. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. He said, yo, and by the way, post-nut clarity and pre-nut clarity means that there's mid-nut learning. So the eclipse is mid-nut learning, I suppose. Anywho, respectfully so. But genuinely speaking though, let's get into the last card for the collective. Then I'm going to pull one astrology card. The Ace of Mother Swords, bro. So we have the Ace of Swords at the bottom. We have the Four of Wands. It's like, got you. Aries is the warrior. At 29 degrees, Aries being the warrior, what does a warrior need and what's the warrior prize the most? The sword that they can carry, what they can bring into battle. And if you get the Master Sword before you step into everything else, you think those little level one things that are trying to stop you gonna stop you? You got the Master Sword earlier than you even needed to. All you got to do is master that part. And so the Ace of Swords is thought. It is your mind, right? So when you master your mind, what you finna do? When you master your mind, what you finna put into the world? You get what I'm saying? All right. Last card. Oh, things are jumping. I'm jumping. Everything's jumping. We don't know. All right. All right, cool. So we have the, I'm sorry. Then the last note was a little flat or shrill. I didn't really expect it to suck, but it happens. All right. So we have Gemini. And I think let's look where Gemini is even at. Do I even have this still up? I do. What is happening in Gemini? Venus is in Gemini. Perfect. So I think this has to do with Venus and Gemini being kind of like an ease point of the solar eclipse. And what's Venus in Gemini? Loving your friends, conversating with people you like, tapping into other stuff like that. Like that's really what that energy is. It's really what that energy is about. So it's like, all right, what are you tapping into in your life? What are you really trying to like bridge into everything else? And that's what's going to be changing the world around you. Are you willing to if the universe here's what this is. Let me back up. If the universe guides you into a conversation, how are you going to capitalize off that conversation? How are you going to speak your truth? How are you going to bridge that into the world? That's what this whole eclipse is going to be centered around and about. And the last card, because I'm extra. We have the Hierophant, and this is you. This is literally the North Node in Taurus and all this other stuff. When you start to tap into that truth, will you be willing to talk about it in front of people? Will you be able to be like, you want to know what? I am an established dancer. I'm nice. And are there better dancers in the world? Probably. Are there better this in the world? Sure. But the new moon in Aries is like, no, I'm the best at what I do because I'm me. And that, my friends, and that, my beautiful people and lovely people watching me with them pretty old eyes, that is exactly what that's supposed to be turning into. So I'm going to shut up now. I said a lot of things. I'm very tired. I'm very happy to have done this for you all. And I definitely hope that people get to streamline over to YouTube so I can, because basically if I do really well on YouTube and I get the partnership, we get the subscription through YouTube, I get to send private videos to people, everything else like that. Like there's a lot more that we can do. I don't think Instagram has the infrastructure I want. So we're going over to YouTube as much as we can, bridging in the real people, bridging in the real ones. And then when things start to pop off, I know I will not forget. I do not forget. I'll be like, good luck. I appreciate you. Don't even stress it. You get what I'm saying? Talk about it like it's my truth sword. But genuinely speaking, it's like, the sword of truth. Sword of truth. Are you rocking the sword of truth? Are you rocking and riding for justice? Or are you just chopping stuff up to be extra? Okay, cool. I'm now actually going to shut up. I love you all. Sincerely. I appreciate you all for being here. All the best for you on the solar eclipse. Stay hydrated. I'm going to go get some water right now because I've been talking for an hour and a half. Like, I ain't got no sense. And, I appreciate the love. Thank you for the tips and everything else like that. It really is helping me. So much love to you all. Thank you so much for your kindness and your time. And let's end this off like this. All right. For the solar eclipse in Aries, I hope everyone finds that piece of themselves that they've been missing, but has always been underneath the surface. I hope each and every one of you see the potentiality that you hold within you and the love you're able to put into the world. You're far more talented than you can even fathom and imagine. When you chose to come here in this world, you knew what you were good at. You knew what you wanted to do. And I hope this eclipse starts to slowly take the veil down to reveal to you exactly what your heart is meant for. And once you see it, please approach it with the most bravery, like you've already accomplished and won the battle. And with that, I appreciate you all. Much love. And I'm going to go turn up. Okay, let's stop. I have much love. I'm a goofball. I'm sorry. Stay beautiful.